the Department of Homeland Security due in large part to the actions of organizers and activists on the ground in Minneapolis, made a glorified public statement that we are going to move out of ICE out of Minneapolis. I've seen you speak on this, and I think most activists understand that just because they made this statement doesn't mean that that's going to change the reality for people on the ground dealing with ICE. I think that's apparent to anyone who would taking the time to watch at least this much of this show, right?
Yeah.
But what I wanted to ask is I saw you say something very important and state the fact that as much as we want to celebrate the mayor getting on TV and cussing and seeming like he down with the people, and Governor Walz is such a lovable, fluffy guy that you want to have a beer with, and he did such a good job running with Kamala, and everybody wants to like these people. And politics is about, like our brother Rod Adams said to us last night, who do you want to fight? Do you want to fight someone who you have more of an overlap with? So I understand my values and my politics overlap. I don't know the mayor's name.
Jake Fry.
Yeah, I'm sure that my values overlap with some of his values and with Governor Walz and with a Gavin Newsom or people like this.
Yeah.
Right? But all of these people represent the Democratic establishment. All of them are liberals who will support the police, who have supported ICE.
Yeah.
They're not talking about abolishing ICE.
Yeah.
They're going to support the police and support ICE every single time. And I like the fact that you have made the distinction to say, look, it looks good on paper, how the things they're saying, but these Democrats are actually just as complicit in supporting ICE and supporting the white supremacist power structure as these MAGA people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that the first tell on that is, even though they may be upset or express that they're upset it's happening, the question is, what are they doing about it? And if they're not doing anything about it, then you have to take them at their actions, not at their word, because their word has meant little to nothing. So when the mayor and the governor do not say abolish ICE, they can say abolish ICE, they just don't say it. That means something. When they don't do an eviction moratorium, that means something. That means a very, very big thing. If you were to support all these things, you would put an eviction moratorium into place for a lot of people that are sheltering in place, that are not going outside at all. And then the last thing is they're trying to make this delineation between, we don't have enough cops to fight ICE. Well, even if you did, you still wouldn't.
That's right.
The only time any ICE officer has been held mildly accountable, well, there's several. There's two. One is in St. Peter. It was a woman that was being pulled over by ICE, and her husband is friends with the cops there, and that's a small town in Minnesota. And there was another one where an ICE agent drank himself into a stupor, vomited on himself, and was parked in a parking lot in St. Paul, and they arrested him because they were saying you can't be behind the wheel and be drunk as fuck as well. And so all that being said, they've done nothing. There's been nothing done. And the only thing that has been done, and this is the maybe the silver lining to this, is the people. There's several coffee shops just less than half a mile away from where we are at right now that probably raised over $250,000 in mutual aid for people, and that's just by them being there and say, hey, we stand with the people and we don't fuck with ICE. That unto itself should tell you enough about the inaction of elected officials and how they're going to support law enforcement and not even put reform for some people that doesn't even check into their lexicon as reform is even an option, because that doesn't mean anything to some folks. But all that being said, it's sad. It was sad because Zoran Mamdani came out and said, yeah, abolish ICE. She got murdered. Yeah. And that was all he had to say in the interview. And I was like, oh, that's it. Yeah. Whereas Jake Fry is like, it's a tragedy what happened. And I just, my heart, and it's just all this tap dancing. And it's like, stop, man. Just say that you support ICE, and you in some forms, you're really upset this happened, and now you're happy to have the opportunity on the Daily Show. I mean, that's really what's been happening for a lot of folks.
Right. Wow. The glow up, like you said.
The glow up.
The uprising glow up.
The uprising glow up.
Pay attention to their track records. What happened in Ferguson is happening here. A lot of elected officials moved out. The whole thing's we don't have a lot of cops. It's because you did it to yourself. When you murder a man, it becomes unpopular to be a part of that department. People then leave and cash out, and they go, start banana stands and frozen banana stands in Arizona, which is what one Minneapolis cop did. They leave, and then they just say, hey.
Arrested development for real.
Yeah, no, for real. and then they cash out the pension, and then you have half the staff you had before because you murdered somebody, and everybody saw it, not because you did it, but because you got caught. And you did this to yourself.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna stop ICE, you probably shouldn't have been a crap like cop shop in the first place.
Get off the fence, son.